All right, so Adolfo,
Yes, ma'am.
yesterday you made a little news. Christine was up
Well,
here.
Christine made a little news.
Christine came in on a horse with the fringe and the hat, and she fit the role, though. She fit the role
Absolutely.
nicely.
Look, Christine embodies the Carnival brand in everything she does, whether it's a stunt like yesterday interrupting Arnie and Arnold, or when she goes on board the ship. She said they used to call her their sister, now they call her mom, so she feels like she's getting old. But the crew on board, the staff at the office, I mean, we all fell in love with her when she first started because she brought so much energy and so much excitement to Carnival. And, she announced the Carnival Jubilee yesterday in a way that only she could do,
Yes.
with a lot of energy and a lot of fun, just like Carnival. So, yeah, it was exciting news. I mean, she's going to be an amazing ship. If you haven't had a chance to see the Mardi Gras, her sister, her first sister or eldest sister, this ship has really revolutionized our ship design and has really been very, very well accepted, or people just love her. There's so many things to do on board, and what's cool about when you have a class of ship with multiple ships is the first one always comes out, it's got all these great things. Second one has a few new things, and then the third one comes out and has even more new things. And so we're really excited as we get to start sharing with you all the fun stuff that's going to be on Carnival Jubilee. And of course, Carnival Celebration next year, we can't forget about her. So anyhow.
Sort of like your kids. The first one you screw up a little bit, the second one gets better, the third one.
Well, I remember like with our first kid when...
I only have two, so I don't know what that says about me.
Well, I had two sons, and the first one, she's an ex-wife, but still a great friend, person I love very much. She, no coffee, you can't drink anything at all. And I remember the second one, Ethan, when she was pregnant with Ethan, we were going to Europe to celebrate my niece's 15th birthday. And she was at the doctor, and she goes, I can't believe we're going to be in Italy, and I can't drink any wine there. And he said, you can have a glass of wine. As long as you don't get drunk, it's okay. You can have a glass of wine. So, it's also like when you're bringing them up, taking care of them, it's so much easier the second time.
Yeah, because you actually know what you're doing a little, or you can pretend.
You're not terrified.
So, before we move on to the next topic, you mentioned Mardi Gras, and that's one of those moments, like, I knew how excited Adolfo was last year to welcome Mardi Gras.
Yes.
So if any of you follow him on social, and if you don't, you have to, the excitement when you were at Mardi Gras this year, having waited as long as you did, was
it made me cry
incredible.
when the ship arrived in
It's
port.
emotion, you could see it. That's what's so cool about this industry right now. We're doing all of this good stuff at once because everybody was on hold, but the emotion is incredible.
Yeah.
So I'm happy for you. Congratulations on it.
Thanks.
So the audience here, they're your people, right? The travel advisors.
Absolutely.
I know you probably know. You can clap for him. You probably all know that Adolfo has a tattoo for all of you. Show us.
I'll show you. It's real.
It's real. There it is, Adolfo.
Nobody ever believes me.
Luckily, it's in a place he could show it.
Well, I have another one.
All right, we're moving on. It's a morning breakfast. Tell us a little bit about what these folks in the room have meant to you in the last year.
So, I mean, look, ever since I started at Carnival almost 40 years ago, I worked in reservations, always worked with travel agents. When I ran the call centers, even though I wasn't in the sales team like the sales reps, I always developed relationships with people like Michelle Fee and Jackie and David Crooks, working in the call center and addressing their needs. And I always knew the importance of travel advisors. And honestly, the cruise industry wouldn't exist today if it weren't for the fact that when it was a fledgling industry back in the 70s, if it hadn't been for them, I mean, there's no way we could have ever grown. So I've always valued that relationship, that support, acknowledge the significance that you bring to the cruise industry and to Carnival Cruise Line in particular. So when I took this job that I have now, that was back in 2015, it was my mission to, repair any of the hurts that we had done, because there's no secret that we had a little bit of a turbulent relationship for a few years. First one to admit it, and to be honest, it was a little scary taking the job because I thought, how do I, repair this? And the fact that Christine was there, my boss at the time, Lynn as well, and now Ken Tate, who's our chief commercial officer. he absolutely understands the value, and he is super creative, and he helps me, push through a lot of the things that we've done over the years to show you how much we value and support you. And if it weren't for them, I couldn't do my job well, and maybe I wouldn't be sitting up here talking with you right now. So, you guys are the reason that I have everything I have in my life. And I said that before. When I got the tattoo, that's what I said. I'm not going to regret I ever got it, because everything that I've ever had, whether it's material things or experiences traveling or learning new business things or anything I did, it was always because the fact that you all supported Carnival in the industry, and for that I will be eternally grateful. So thank you.
Quite sincere, my friend.
Yeah,
really,
that's
really
good.
sincere.
Really.
So let's stay with it for a minute, and we're talking about the positivity that's here in this room today, that's been here for the last few days. What's your advice for these folks when it comes to the next year, moving into 2022?
2022.
2022.
Let's pivot.
Michelle Fee, 2022, pivot.
The one
pivot.
thing Michelle didn't show in there, I saw that presentation, or part of that presentation at their conference, and there was another word that they kept, two other words, or one other word that they didn't talk about, which was being fluid. So the situation's really fluid.
Yes,
we have to pivot because the situation is fluid.
So find that pent-up demand.
So, as the pandemic kind of started, rolling out and getting worse and worse, we kept talking about a few things that I thought were really important and continue to be important. So education, take the time to learn as much as you can, because the more you know, the more you're up to date on the products that you sell, the better chance you are of booking the right client on the right cruise ship, on the right cruise line, right itinerary. And also, the other word that came up a lot was FCCs. And we beat this, dead horse, but we're going to continue to beat this dead horse, because there are still millions. If you probably looked across all the industry, the number of unredeemed future cruise credits is astounding, in the millions, I'm sure. Wow. So those are like your pot of gold. That's where your lowest hanging fruit. So if you're not doing anything else, at least do that. And then I think there was a period of time where, it probably didn't feel right to really sell cruising. The sentiment wasn't really the right. If you were, pushing cruising, it might have felt a little tone deaf. And I think we're well beyond that point now. So if you're not taking advantage of marketing, not only the products that you're selling, putting those images out there on social media or through your emails or through direct mail campaigns, whatever it is you use for marketing, if you're not taking advantage of that now, you're going to miss out, because although there is pent-up demand, another word that we all kept talking about, that pent-up demand spiked, right? And then, that was June. June, everything kind of jumped. We were like, oh my God, next month it's going to be 30% more than that. And then the reality of that pent-up demand kind of tapered a bit. So we need you, just like we need to, and we'll be launching a marketing campaign, a consumer marketing campaign that will be big and bold and exciting. And we can't wait to do that, because that's going to help drive the business to you guys. And the other thing that I think travel advisors are great at is attracting you to cruise, because so many of you, whether you're home-based and you own a franchise, or you're part of a host agency, or even the online agencies, all a retail store, whatever it is that you do, you have access to people that our marketing never reaches. Sorry. That was my heart beating for you guys. You have access to people. So you can talk to the Kiwanis Club, or to your kids' soccer team or baseball team, whatever it is. You have access in these communities to really draw people that may have not considered cruising in the past. And I think I said on the panel that there are a lot of fence sitters right now, people who would consider going on a cruise, but they're not quite sure. And now, more than ever, the value that you bring to this equation is bigger than ever. You're the ones who are knowledgeable, you understand, as long as you're keeping up with all the crazy stuff that's changing. And I know it's hard, and I feel for you. It's hard enough for me to keep up with Carnival stuff on my own. Sometimes I don't know which ship is going where. But if you guys are really focused on that, the value that you bring, making it easy for someone to make that decision to get off the fence and actually make a booking, this is the perfect time to do it. And I'm super excited about wave season. I'm hoping it's going to be really, really strong. Each of the last 3 months have been going up in bookings, so we're really, really excited. And as you all know, we just announced yesterday that all of our ships in the U.S. will be sailing by March.
That's awesome.
And we've been in a really great spot as far as occupancy has been concerned. We've been over 70% full, which is a really nice number. Obviously, as everyone said the other day, the presidents were talking about we need to be at 100% occupancy. I've heard that we've had a few sailings at 100% occupancy now, which is awesome because of you guys. So lots to do, lots of support.
So we're out of time, but I have to ask you one last thing, and I have to tell all of you. You may not know this. Christine and Arnold Donald both mentioned yesterday that Carnival is turning 50 next year, which is an amazing thing. But all of you probably won't believe this, but I think Adolfo is celebrating his 40th year.
Yes.
So he started when he was 12, I think. I don't know.
I was 16.
I still don't get the whole Adolfo in 40 years
I
thing.
started at 16.
So
I was in high school.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And what are you looking forward to next year? Yourself, personally, you.
Personally, myself, getting to travel more. I have done some traveling while during the pandemic, mostly to Mexico, in Playa del Carmen. I have a place there. And it would be nice to go to Europe. It would be nice to go on a cruise. Steve, I'd love to go on a seaborne cruise, so if you can throw me one.
Steve, can you figure that out? It's his 40th. Can you do that?
For my 40th anniversary.
He's hooking them up. There you go. They like each other. Adolfo, thank you
Mary
so
Pat.
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Pleasure.
Appreciate everything you all do for us. Thank you.